Once you find your way to your mat, let's just bring the legs to cross in front of us. And let our eyes close. This is my brother's cat. She might be in here a little bit. Let's bring your hands to your knees. Feel the weight of your hips on your mat. Let your spine stack each vertebrae on top of one another. So let's check into the shoulders here. See if you can let your shoulder blades go down and back. Good. Inhale, bring the shoulders up to the ears. Fill up your lungs. Then exhale the shoulder blades down the back. Good. Take that a few more times, making some circles with your shoulders. Inhale brings them up to your ears. Exhale down your back. Good. One more time here. Good. Bring your hands and let's start to rotate over to one side, maybe grasping onto your knee, holding that there for a breath. And then exhale brings you over to the other side, twisting over to the right this time. Good. Inhale, switches you over. Inhale, switch over to the right. We'll take this a few more times to each side. Letting your breath be oceanic and noisy so that you can really hear yourself breathing. Good. Come back to center. Extend your left leg long. Bring your right foot over your left knee. Then grab hold of your foot. We're just going to massage out the sole of your foot. So just start to take your thumbs and kind of apply some pressure, giving some love to your feet. Good, and then start to maybe make some circles with your ankle. Good, and then place that right foot outside the left knee. Right hand comes back behind you, taking a spinal twist over to the right. Good, come back to center. Bring your knees so that they stack on top of each other. We're going to do a little hip opener here. So maybe you scoot your hips back in space just a little bit so that you're sitting really on the fronts of your sits bones. You can keep the bottom leg extended or tuck it underneath, folding into kind of this like stacked knee pose. I guess I don't really know the name of this pose. Once you get there, extend your spine long towards the ceiling. And then we're going to fold over our legs. You can start to walk your hands out in front of you until you feel that stretch in the outer hip. You should feel this in your right hip more than your left. But maybe you feel it in both. That's totally fine. Good. Slowly start to come out of that. Bring your hands behind your hips to extend that left leg long again. Right leg can go long right next to it. This time you're going to bring your left ankle over your right knee. We'll start to massage out the other foot. Kind of focusing today on, maybe bringing love to some areas that don't always get the attention that they deserve. So the feet. Even just a little bit of human touch can stimulate the nervous system, even if it's our own. And just bringing some blood to the area. Good, and then start to make some circles with your ankle. Make up that joint. Good, and then place that left foot down outside the right knee. Left hand comes back behind your hips and then twist over to the left. You can use your right arm as leverage to help get you deeper into this twist. Good, then come back to center. We'll stack the knees again. Option to keep that leg extended or place it underneath. Then once you find your position here, extend the spine long first. Then you can start to fold over. We'll be here for a few breaths, so maybe starting to bring some awareness to those areas we're working on, the outer hips. One more breath here. Good, walk your hands back up. And then just slowly start to come over to a tabletop position, however you want to get there. Good option to sink your hips back and forth. Kind of just waking up the front of the body. Move freely here, making it your own. Focusing on what feels good in your body. Good, come back up to your tabletop position. We'll add in some cat-cows here. So you can keep your back toes tucked, or you can place the top of your feet on the mat. And then connecting our breath with movement. Inhale, drop the belly and look up. Really expand the ribs here. Good, and then exhale, squeeze everything back to center, round your back. Good, inhale, drop belly, look up. And exhale, round the back, tuck your tailbone underneath. Good, inhale, drop the belly and look up. Keep taking this movement. Each exhale rounds the back. Take a few more at your own breath. Good, and then when you're ready, tuck the back toes under. Lift your knees off the mat and send your hips high for your first downward facing dog. So take some time to get into this position here. Bend in the knees. Good, maybe shake your head yes and no. See what it feels like to fully let your head just dangle between your arms, nice and heavy. Good, and then when you're ready, we'll start to firm up that foundation so we can move on to our sun salutations. So spread the fingertips wide and then press through each knuckle, pressing the ground away from your body. Good, and then tilt your hips up towards the ceiling. Long hamstrings here, so option to keep the legs straight, or if you need to bend the knees a little bit to make this more lengthening in the spine, feel free to do that. Good, moving on. Inhale, the right leg goes high for three-legged dog. Exhale, step your foot between your hands, come down into a low lunge. Inhale, arms overhead. Good, hold it here for a moment, stretching into the front of that left hip. Feel that stretch there. Maybe you push your hips forward a little bit. Good, inhale, look up. Exhale, plant the hands and step your left toes forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, circles the arms overhead, coming all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands come through to the heart. Good, reach the arms long overhead. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands and step both feet back into a high plank pose here. We'll be here for just a moment, and then we're gonna move through some chaturanga flows. So drop the knees, untuck the toes, and as you exhale, send the elbows back behind you, keeping them in at your sides. Good, inhale, press through the palms, bring the chin and chest off the mat. And then exhale, tuck your toes, come back up to your tabletop, and then push your way into your downward facing dog. Good, inhale, left toes go high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step your foot through, drop the back knee. Inhale, arms overhead. Let's stretch into that hip flexor on the right side. Good, when you get here, see if you can tilt your tailbone underneath you, sending your hips back in space a little bit to open up that front of the hip. Good, look overhead, inhale deeply. Exhale, plant the hands and step the right toes forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands through to heart center. Good, reach the arms long overhead. And then exhale sends you all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift to prepare. Exhale, plant the hands, step your feet back to your high plank pose. Good. Exhale, drop the knees, untuck the toes, and then slowly lower down. Inhale pushes you through, chest off the mat. Exhale, come back to your downward facing dog. Good, inhale, right toes go high. Exhale, knee to nose, hold it here. Shoulders are over your wrist. Good, inhale, right toes high. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Come into your low lunge. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, left fingertips go forward, right fingertips come back, twist over to the right. Good, inhale, bring your arms back overhead. Exhale, plant the hands and step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, stand all the way up, arms come overhead. Exhale, cactus the arms out to the side, press your hips forward, chest reaches up. Come into a baby back bend. Good, inhale, arms overhead, neutral spine. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. Reach the crown of the head forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step your feet back to your high plank pose. Exhale, lowers you down. You can keep the knees lifted if you'd like. Lowering halfway down. Inhale brings you into upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes. Use your core to bring you back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, left toes high. Exhale, knee to nose. Hold it here. Inhale, left toes high. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Drop the back knee. Hook your thumbs and rise. Exhale opens you up for a twist to the left this time. Left fingertips come behind you, right fingertips forward. Good, inhale, both arms overhead. Exhale, plant the hands, step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, arms overhead, coming all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands through to heart center. Close your eyes when you get here. Good, take a deep inhale in. Exhale, open your mouth. Sigh everything out. Good, bring your feet to touch, keeping your eyes closed. Then bring your hands down to your side, letting your palms face forward. Good, notice maybe some movement in the ankles. Taking away the vision, test the balance just a little bit more. Good, inhale, arms overhead, look up, open your eyes. Exhale, fold down. Separate your feet about hips width distance. Take a forward fold here. Opposite hand to opposite elbow for ragdoll pose. Letting your head hang heavy. Another option is to bring the hands interlaced at the base of the neck. And then let gravity and weight pull your head down. Good, maybe you find some sway back and forth when you get here. Good, let go of that there. Bring your toes back to touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands and step your feet back to move through one of your flows. So option to keep the legs long, knees lifted. Exhale brings you down to the ground. Inhale raises the chest. Then exhale, use your abs to bring you back to downward facing dog. Good, inhale, the right toes go high. Exhale, knee to nose, hold it here. Good, inhale, left toes high. Exhale, right knee to left elbow, twist it in. Good, inhale, right toes high. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Keep the back knee lifted here, right fingertips reach up towards the ceiling, low lunge twist. Good, exhale, lower the back knee down, untuck the toes. And then option to bring your right hand down to your left, the back of your left thigh, opening up here. Another option is to bend that left knee up and take a quad stretch. So we're doing like a twisted, revolved quad stretch here. Good, exhale, let go of that. Right fingertips come back to freeing your front foot. Lift that left knee off the mat and then inhale for crescent lunge. Good, again, bring that right hip back in space, square off those hips. Fingertips reach overhead. Then swivel that back heel down. Come in your warrior two. Deep bend in the front knee. Back leg is nice and straight and strong. Reach the fingertips to both sides of the room. Good. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, come back to your warrior two. Straighten your front leg. And then reach forward first. And then reach down for your triangle pose. So your left fingertips are reaching up towards the ceiling. Your right hand can come to your shin. Don't apply too much pressure here. Try to see if you can use your abs and your core to lift you out of that right thigh. Good. Inhale, come back to center, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill the arms down to the mat. Good. Step your left toes in just a bit, coming into your pyramid pose. So both toes are facing forward. Try to see if you can get both legs straight. And then slowly start to fold over that front leg, maybe letting your gaze come to your belly button. Good. Deep bend in the front leg. And then lift off those back toes, coming into your standing splits. So your hands are down on the ground. Option to have a little bend in the standing leg, balancing on that right leg. Good. Exhale, curtsy squat. Bring that left knee in. Then step your left toes back. Plant your hands. Right toes meet your left. Move through your vinyasa flow. Good. Taking that on the other side. Left toes go long. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrist. Inhale, left toes long. Exhale, squeeze your left knee over to the right elbow. Hold it here. Good. Inhale, left toes long. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Left fingertips reach high. Good. Check into your back leg. See if you can pull that knee up in space. Good. Exhale, both hands down to the mat. Drop your right knee down. Untuck your toes. And then left hand comes back to your right thigh. Or you can reach, bend your right knee up for a quad stretch here. Good. Let go of that foot. Left hand frames the front foot. Lift your right knee off of the mat and then reach your hands overhead, coming into your crescent lunge. Good. Sink your hips low into this pose. Check back into that back leg. Nice and strong, straight leg. Good. Swivel the right heel down. Open up for warrior two. Good. Your gaze looks over the front fingertips. Inhale, send your left hand high. Reverse your warrior. Exhale, come back to center. Straighten that front leg first. Reach long and then down. Good. Again, imagine your right hand is reaching up towards the ceiling. So instead of dropping down, see if you can make this active in your core. Good. Inhale, pull yourself back up. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill the arms down to the mat. Bring your right toes in for pyramid pose. Good. Extend your spine long and then let your body fold over the front leg. Good. Inhale, bend the front knee, look forward. Lift those right toes off the mat. Come into your standing split. Strong back leg here. Press the heel to the back of the room. Good. Wake up the glutes. Squeeze your buttocks. Good. Exhale. Bring the right knee in. Curtsy squat. Step your right toes back. Left toes can meet your right and then move through your flow. Good. Slowly start to walk your legs up to the front of your mat. Good. Bring your toes to touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, hands through to heart center. All right, so we're gonna play around with a little bit of balance and opening up the front of the hip. We've kind of been working up to this, so it should feel pretty open already. We're gonna do dancer's pose today. So I'm gonna show you from the side, but let's bring all of our weight into our left foot. Good. Once you've shifted over and feel centered, you can bring your right knee up in front of you. Give yourself a tight squeeze. Good. Start to feel the ground underneath that left foot. You might feel your ankle wobbling. That's totally fine. That means your ankle muscles are stabilizing. Send your right toes back behind you. Your left hand can come to your hip. Your right hand can reach for your ankle, either inside or out. And then as you kick into that back leg, you can start to tilt forward onto your hips. The left fingertips can reach long in front of you. Good. It might be a little bit easier if you have a little bit of a bend in the standing leg. And then find a point out in front of you to focus on to help your balance. Good. Inhale, come back up to center. Drop those right toes down to the mat. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Reach them down, reach your chest up. Good. Let's come back to center and take that on the other side. So place all of your weight into the right leg. Good. Your right hand can come to your hip. Actually, bend your left knee up first, and then give that a tight squeeze. Bring it in towards your chest. Good. This should wake up that standing leg, challenging the balance a little bit. Good. And then right hand to right hip. Send your left toes back behind you. Grab hold of your left foot. I like to kind of grab the arch of my foot. I feel like I can get a better kick into my hand that way. And then reach your right fingertips high. Start to kick into that back leg. And start to hinge forward. Keeping the chest nice and lifted here instead of, bending forward too much. Good. Slowly come out of that. Left toes come down. Reach both arms overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step your left toes back. And then start to walk your hands over to the side, the left side of your mat, coming into this wide-legged forward fold. Good option to play around with any inversions if you're working on any like handstands or headstands. Otherwise, just have some time here to move freely. Maybe bend into one knee and then the other. These moments of like exploration in yoga are some of the best times because you kind of play around with what feels best in your body. Those are the times when you make yoga more personable to you. Good, slowly start to come over to your left toes. So you're at the back of your mat now. Plant your hands, step your toes back, and then move through one last vinyasa flow. Good, start to walk your toes up to your hands, and then sink your hips low, coming onto our back. Slowly lower yourself down here. We're gonna kind of strengthen the hips here, taking a few bridge variations. So I'll give you a few options. Your feet are about hips width distance. They can even come a little closer if that feels better. And then your hands can come down to your sides. Your first option is to lift the hips up high. Hold for 3 seconds. And then exhale the hips back down. Good. Other option is to lift one leg off of the mat. And then inhale, lift the hips high, holding it here for 3 seconds. And then exhale the hips back down, switch out the legs. Good, we're gonna do about 10. So if you're switching out the legs, we'll do 5 on each side. Kind of just move at your own pace here. Really squeezing the muscles at the top of the movement, and then letting it be slow and controlled on the descent. Good, we're about halfway done. Keep working. Really squeeze at the top. Good, each inhale brings your hips up. And then exhale, let all the air out as you sink your hips back down. Good, let's all do one more. Good, and then when you're done, you can let your knees fall in. Your feet can come out about the width of your mat. And then just bring your hands to your low belly. Good, moving on to supine pigeon pose. Kind of setting it up the same as a bridge. So this time you're gonna cross your right ankle over your left knee. And then grab hold of the back of your left thigh. Good, option to maybe add in a bit of hamstring stretching, sending your heel up to the ceiling. Good, and then when you're ready, start to pull that left thigh in toward your chest. This should wake up the outside of the right hip. Good. Keep that right ankle on top of the left knee. Extend the left leg long, and then just let your right knee fall out to the side. You're kind of opening up the front of the hip here. Just letting that knee kind of take gravity down to the ground. Good. Right foot can come down to the mat. Keep the knee bent up. Left ankle crosses over the right knee. Take this on the other side. So if you wanted to add in some hamstring stretching first, feel free to do that. Good, and then bring that knee in towards the chest. Wake up that outer hip. We're gonna be here for about 3 breaths. Good, send the right leg along. Then open up that left front of the hip here. Let the left knee fall out to the side. Left ankle is still over the right knee. Good, you can come back to center. You can let your legs extend long. Option here to find any other poses that I might not have brought you through that would help round out your practice. Otherwise, we are going to find our final resting posture here. I think it's important to kind of give yourself this time and space to fully rest without feeling the need to rush through what you're doing. You know, enjoy every second and every moment of the way there. Once you find your final resting posture, you can let your eyes close. You can let your shoulders relax down to the mat. Maybe you let your legs kind of just fall out to the side. Not trying to hold any certain position here. We're really letting our bodies melt into the mat. Would you let your breathing come back to its natural state? And if you feel like your mind is wandering, I invite you to think of a setting or landscape in which you can imagine walking through, one that brings you peace, maybe it brings you hope, or it reminds you of love. Walk through that now. As always, you can stay here in this pose, letting yourself have some time for self-love, maybe just extra rest today. Otherwise, I will slowly get you out of this position. We'll start by waking up the fingers and the toes. You can wiggle them in space, maybe making circles with your wrists and ankles. You can then extend your arms overhead for a long body stretch, as if it's the first stretch of the morning. Good, and then bring your knees in toward your chest. Give yourself one last big hug. And then slowly, in whatever way makes most sense to you, push your way up to a comfortable seated position. Let's come to this spot with our eyes closed. Bring our hands to our heart, and they can rest on your knees. We'll bring in a wave of gratitude for having the opportunity to come together today and move our bodies and free our minds. We hope to see you all again soon. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your week, everyone. We'll have class on Wednesday at 12:30, and then Friday is going to be at 7:30 in the morning because I have something later in the day. So hopefully you guys can make it. Otherwise, I'll upload them all to YouTube. Thanks.